Our first guest today is Dr. Blond. Dr. Blond, what is it that interests you about team reasoning?
Well, you know I'm a big fan of Michael Bratman, but it always struck me that his account of shared intention wasn't quite right. I couldn't find a good objection yet, but I'm wondering if considering an alternative to shared intention could help me to understand whether or not this is really the truth, what Bratman says about joint action, or whether there's a different, better account. And I heard that using team reasoning, we can construct an account of shared intention, which is quite different from anything that Michael Bratman has offered. So I thought, this is great. Maybe we'll find a new way to think about joint action through studying team reasoning. Dr. Blond, thank you very much for joining us. Now I'd like to take us over to Professor Red. Professor Red, why should we study team reasoning in your opinion? As you know, I'm a big fan of aggregate subjects. And for me, team reasoning is interesting because I want to understand how it is that we can have aggregate subjects. Now earlier, I understood there was some possibility of a self-reflective aggregate subject, but that seemed pretty complicated. So I was interested because I thought maybe team reasoning provides me with a simpler way to construct aggregate subjects. Maybe somehow there's a way of getting to aggregate subjects from team reasoning. Professor Red, as always, it's so wonderful to get your insights. Thank you very much for joining us. Now I'd like last of all to go over to our special guest, Mr. Black. Mr. Black, what is it about team reasoning that we might be looking out for as we study it?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. This is a question that's most interesting to me. You see, if we use standard game theory, we run into various kinds of apparent problems. For example, we can't recommend a reason to choose high in the high-low game, or in the prisoner's dilemma game, we seem to recommend always one of the worst options possible. I'm not satisfied that our decision theoretic understanding really succeeds in explaining what rational action in social interaction is. And this motivates me to consider team reasoning as an extension of my basic game theory, in the hope that I might better understand rationality in these social interactions through team reasoning.
Thank you for those insights, Mr. Black. So I hope you'll join us later when we consider what is team reasoning, how we might use it to build aggregate agents, how we might use it to build an alternative to Bratman's account of shared intention, and how we might use it in order to overcome some problems that are involved when we apply decision theory. Let's see how that goes.